Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for that introduction. My name is Vinayak Menon, and I'm excited to be here today at the Substance Abuse Prevention Day in the state capitol. I hope you all are excited too. First and foremost, I want to thank Voices for Prevention for giving me this chance to speak and share my perspective as a young leader. And I'm so honored and so inspired to see other young folks in the crowd today because our voices truly do matter. As you all know, we're gathered here today to tackle one of our state's most urgent crises, the wave of substance use and addiction that seems to be getting worse by the day. And the perennial question is, how do we stop it? How do we stop more lives from being lost and more families from being hurt? What I want to talk about today is how youth, who are disproportionately affected by this crisis, can not only be part of the solution, but pave the way to a safer, healthier, and more vibrant Georgia. When youth become advocates and deeply embedded in our campaign for prevention, true change can occur. You see, youth advocacy is a powerful force. It's a process by which youth can take a platform, can take a seat at the table, and have their voices heard. It's an opportunity for youth across our states to truly give back to their community and take charge of prevention. Let me tell you about my journey with youth advocacy. About 4 years ago, I joined my county's Drug Awareness Coalition. And the reason I joined is because I saw firsthand how this crisis of addiction was affecting peers in my community. With heavy burdens of stress and anxiety placed on their backs, many youth turned to substances for relief. They were becoming addicted to nicotine, and some were losing their lives to prescription opioids and fentanyl. You see, I was taken aback because I once believed that I was isolated from substance use, that I would never come across it. But the truth is that substance abuse sees no boundaries or barriers. No matter your geographic location, your socioeconomic status, your racial, your ethnic, or your religious group, substance use is a present threat. It's a present issue. The truth is that substance use is not an issue in isolation, but it's a symptom of the deep systemic issues in our societies. When people are facing problems with mental health, when folks are facing generational trauma and they lack access to basic health care, those are the people that are most at risk of developing a substance use. It's a confluence of risk factors that causes addiction. So it was this realization that drove me to create change in my community. And I can proudly say that for these past 3 years, I found true happiness and joy in being part of the solution to addiction. I've written articles about the effects of substance use. I've talked to key members of Congress, people in the House of Representatives and the Senate, and I created a campaign to distribute drug deactivation kits so no family in my county would have to worry about the unused or expired prescription pills in their home medicine cabinets. And through this journey, I've gained so much knowledge and inspiration. I've met incredible people in the world of prevention, healthcare professionals, policymakers, and trainers. Now, all of this was possible because of that first step of taking action and speaking my truth. Now, I will note that it's not easy to be involved in prevention. Folks, it takes courage, it takes hard work, and it takes compassion. But I can tell you from personal experience that there is nothing more rewarding than seeing change and seeing improvement in your community. So I ask all of you today, the advocates, the change makers, and the preventionists, to empower youth in your communities. It's young leaders that can act as a bridge between your organization and the folks you hope to educate. It's young leaders that can bring your messages to new audiences, and it's young leaders that can build momentum. They can take their passion and bring more and more people on board, turning your vision into a reality. Now, bringing young folks in it's not a simple task. It requires outreach in the schools, with parents, family, social media. All of that is necessary to reach this next generation of Americans. And beyond simply reaching them, you have to engage them. It's incredibly critical to give them the opportunity to contribute, to have their voices heard, and above all, play an active role, not a passive role, in prevention. And to the aspiring young leaders here today, there's a lot of you here today. My message is this: take action in your community and speak your truth. Take action no matter how big or how small that action may seem to you. Whether it's writing letters to your representatives, volunteering at one of your organization's events, or even just putting flyers in your school, you can make a difference. As the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu once said, do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that can overwhelm the world. Prevention can overwhelm the world. Young leaders can overwhelm the world. It's the next generation of America that can move this country in the right direction and tackle this urgent crisis at hand. Thank you so much.